Welcome to Gen3rationK.com. That's generation with a 3, not me. My name is Jason Zano, and yes, I do look like Shaun White. You are right. But you're probably wondering, can I snowboard like him? And the answer is no. However, I love kids just like you, and I think that there's amazing potential in kids, and they can dream, they can be whatever they want to be, and it's our obligation and it's our duty to help kids and by educating them with our stories, with our life experiences. That is something amazing that most adults have, a unique story that they can reflect on and share with kids. I think a kid who grows up, a boy that grows up with a great father and mother, or a girl that grows up with a great mother and father, I think they have a much higher increase in the potential to lead great lives. And a kid who grows up with multiple parents and mentors is going to even have a greater, like a tenfold increase in their potential to lead a great life. And with the new technologies and new platforms like YouTube and social media, we can create more virtual mentors who are really going to help and inspire critical thinking in these kids. You know, one of my mentors that I've learned from on YouTube, I've never met him, but I've learned a lot from him and his principles. He's got videos on YouTube. He's got a book called Principles. His name is Ray Dalio. He is a founder of Bridgewater Capital. It's one of the biggest firms and hedge funds in the world. And Ray Dalio's story really resonates with me. He struggled in school. You know, he didn't get great grades. One of his teachers actually said, just give up. Fortunately, he didn't. He went to college. He found the beauty in college, the fact that he could pick and choose whatever classes he wanted to study. And he was able to really delve into those courses and find joy in studying and learning economy and finance. He then went on to Harvard Business School. And at Harvard Business School, he did well. And then he went into Wall Street and was doing well. And then he wanted to get more ownership and take a little more control. And so he started his own hedge fund. And he had ups and downs. He had some massive failures at the beginning, but he learned from those. And he was able to create principles that he lived by. And those principles are what propelled him and his firm to be the biggest in the world. One of the reasons he was able to really work so hard and get his firm so high in the world was he lived a congruent life. He really woke up every day, probably not every day with a smile, but he was happy to take on those days' challenges and put in the work necessary to resolve them. And that type of congruent life, you know, when you're either in school and you're studying what you want, or in your adult, you're working on things that you enjoy, that motivate you, that energize you. That is how we define success at Generation K. And so I want to get into our outline. I'm so glad you are here, checking out our website, and considering being a potential mentor for your kids classmates, and any kid on YouTube. That's an amazing thing to do. And we would love to hear your story. So in this presentation, we're coming to your kid's classroom, and what I'd like to do is have your child introduce you, say your name, say what company you work for. I think that would be a really cool moment to see your kid up there introducing you, and if they so choose to. Then you come on, say your name, say the company you work for, and then dive into your background. What fascinated you as a kid? What gave you some energy? And then what did you study in school? And where did you go to college? And what do you study in college if you did? And if not, that's totally fine too. And then we'll get into your work. What are you doing currently? What does it look like in the day in life? If a kid just came up and asked you, like, what do you do? What are you going to say to that kid? Give them a good idea of what your role, whatever it may be, is like, and really show some energy and passion that that role brings you in your life. So what are some of your accomplishments? I think sharing what you've accomplished and kind of the steps to getting those accomplishments is really key. And if you have photos or videos or a little demonstration that can fit into the presentation, we want to, it can up to about 15 minutes. Like kids mostly don't have the greatest attention. I know I had attention span like that, when I was a kid, and my attention span today is like that. So try not to go over 15 minutes, but if you have something you want to put in the presentation to make it interactive, engaging, ask questions, those are things we love and would love to discuss, with you and the teacher about the capabilities. So then once you get into the work, I want you to talk about your learning for life. I think that's a very important concept. We shouldn't just go to college and then stop learning. You should always be adding new skills, adding new methods, learning new ways to do things better in your life. And so talk about some of the skills that you learned in school. Talk about some of the skills you learned in your current work. And for me, I was working in technical support. I learned some amazing skills, some problem solving. I learned how to listen, and I learned how to be detail-oriented. But don't just say, you did those skills. Really explain that skill. What does it mean to be a great listener? When someone was talking to me, I had that little voice inside my head thinking. And I'd be thinking about, what should I say? What should I say to this person that will be the right response? And when I was doing that, I wasn't present. I was just in my head. I was neglecting that person. And what I learned was, I need to shut that little inner voice off. I need to be fully aware, fully present. And when I was, and am today, I listen amazingly. I get exactly what your thought is. I have a perfect understanding of your thought. And if I don't, I ask questions and clarify. And that is how you be a good listener. That's just an example. All right. And then any resources that you use to learn new skills. Do you go on YouTube? Do you read books? Do you listen to podcasts? Just kind of explain your method. Any method is awesome, and your unique story has its own method, and we want to hear that. And then personal life. We don't just want to hear about your history and your work. We also want to hear what you're doing now. What inspires you to get up every day and go to work. Then after work, what do? You can do anything. You go to the gym, you go running, you could listen to music, you can make music, you can play an instrument, you could, go to a movie. Whatever it is that you like to do, 2 or 3 things, even meditation. That helps me so much. Being able to just breathe in, hold that breath, and then let it out slowly. It helps me clear my head, and I think and stay present, and that's an amazing thing that helps me really find fulfillment and meaning in my life. And then final thoughts, like Ray Dalio does with his book, The Principles, the ways he lived his life. Just some important principles or final advice that you may have that you want to share with these students who are finding their way in the world would be extremely valuable and very, very important to share. So I really appreciate that you're here. You're considering helping your kids' class, and together we can educate and inspire creativity and critical thinking in the current generation of kids. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.